Hey students, we've been working on our social media message and you're doing a really nice job using drawings. We haven't really had a lot of issues, but one of the questions that keeps coming up is how do I make my profile picture a circle instead of a square? Because when you Google all of your images and you select one, you're going to see that most of them are squares. But on our social media profile pages, for all of them, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, they are circles. So because that's a common question, I'm going to make this tutorial for you. You can watch this and quickly see how to crop or edit your picture so that it is a circle. So the first thing that you need to do is insert your image. Everybody knows how to do that. I have actually a finished product right here. I'm going to show you how I get from a rectangle image to this. So I'm going to insert the image of Hamilton. If I go ahead and crop this as is, it's going to make it an oval and not a circle. And if you try to move it and shift it and crop it as is, it's going to distort your image. And that's what we want to avoid. Let me show you what happens if you do that. This is the cropping editing tool where you crop the image. And if you go to this and you just select the drop down arrow and choose circle, it's going to make it an oval because it's an oblong rectangle. Okay. So we're not going to do that. The first thing we're going to do is actually crop the image. When you crop the image, you just select the tool. And then once you have it selected, you'll see that it gives you these black outline bars that you can grab in order to change it. And it will not crop it proportionally. If you grab the blue, it's going to always move it proportionally so that it doesn't distort the image. Once you tap that and it becomes black, you're going to be actually cropping out parts of the picture. So you have to make sure that you don't have this 4 arrow tool. You want it to be the little 2 arrow. I actually just grabbed the wrong one. So you can see what happens when you do that. Okay. When I crop it, you see how it doesn't move the image? It's actually cutting this part of the picture out. I'm just going to eyeball this. That looks pretty good to me. I'm going to go back up and I'm going to tap the crop. You don't even have to do that. You can just then click the drop down arrow, shapes, circle. Okay. Now, at this point, this is way too large to fit here. And so we're going to go back and we're going to use the proportional blue bar, drag the blue in order to shrink it down. I have just a quick tip. I actually made this shape just to figure out exactly what size I needed it to be. So if I drag it over top of my picture, you can see this is exactly the size that I need it to be. So I can use this as a guide and double check. It'll be a lot easier. So I'm going to shrink this down until it kind of matches this. You don't have to do that, but some of you are perfectionists, and so I just wanted to give you a guide. Another tip is you can look at the numbers on here. If you go to format options, and you can actually mimic these numbers in your picture. So I can see that it's 0.75 by 100. If I go right here, all I need to change to make this the right proportion is that. Now this picture is going to go right into this spot. Looks like I need to drag it out just a little. Whoops. Now, here's the other thing. See this little blue plus sign on Instagram? You may not have that on the other social media, but if you're using Instagram and you're like, how am I going to isolate that? I've done that over here for you where I just have this to put back on top because it's, we're just manipulating, right? So if you want to do that, all you have to do is copy and paste this picture and crop out everything except this little blue thing. Now I'm running out of time, so I'm not going to show you how to do that because I think you know how to crop it out. But if you just stick this back over top, you're basically good to go. You have to move it to the front